All right, Gamecock fans, we are here. We're here and we're live. Do we really have anything to say? What can I say? What can I say? What can we say? We had a week off, bye week, came back, and I'm not sure if we didn't look worse than we did going into the bye week. Um, the game was close, but still awful. Awful. Looked awful. Except defense. I'll give the defense some credit. They played very well. Offensively, this old line is absolutely horrid. I have never, in all my years of watching college football, and there's a lot of them, I promise you, there's a lot of years I have watched college football. I have never, ever, ever seen a center with as many false start penalties as Boaz Stanley. Ever. I have never seen so many missed blocks by an offensive line. I mean, on some of the worst teams that South Carolina ever had, the blocking on offense was not this bad. We may have had not superstar quarterback play, and we may not have had a lot of wide receivers that had a lot of talent. But this is going on. The beating Spencer Rattler took in 23. Um, Behind the offensive line, and now Sellers. Yeah, there was occasion we could say Lenoir didn't make the best decisions. He was holding the ball too long, could have cut it loose. But that's got nothing to do with the O line. Can't block the guy that's standing in front of him. And I'm not. I'm really. The rail South Carolina says we had too many flags. Bro, we had too many flags, too many missed blocks, um, opportunities that were there and just blown. Um, this team is doing the same things we got away with doing last year, except we're not getting away with them this year. Last year, we did the same. If y'all think back to the Alabama game, where we were getting across the 50-yard line, getting into Alabama's territory, and then all of a sudden, mental mistakes, and just mistakes in general, penalties, negative plays, we would go backwards. And we saw it all through the season last year, and we're seeing it now. We saw it tonight. We saw it this year. You make a good play, you get in good territory, you get down to almost where you're in field goal range, and all of a sudden now you're back at the 50-yard line because of penalties, um, just negative plays. Uh, I just, it amazes me how bad. Hold on a second. I think Gamecock Chuck might jump on with me. I got to get him the link set. I don't have his. Let me see if I can find his email. Uh, but I just never. I just never. I haven't seen anything this bad. Darrell wants to know how my day was. I just sat around and watched football today, waiting on this game, thinking, Darrell, I was really thinking that maybe, just maybe, we had found something during the bye week, something we could build on. Okay, we looked at the first 5 games and say, all right, where was our issues? What do we need to fix? And you got 2 weeks to try to get it fixed before LSU, and then you come out and do this. Just you should have beaten LSU, but you continuously just want to beat yourself. I mean, besides the one big long run, by Matthew Fuller. Now, Matthew Fuller ended up with 7 carries for 83 yards, and the vast majority of that was in that one run. Lenore Sellers passing 15 of 27 for 124 yards. It was still over 50%, but we didn't throw the ball anywhere. I just, I there's no creativity to our offense. And then again, you see a couple plays where we spread out, especially in the beginning, we spread the offense out and positive things happen. And then all of a sudden you're looking again and everybody's compacted back within the damn hash marks. You're pulling the defense in. And then it is very hard to figure out where the blitz is coming from. And we don't know. I could take a bunch of third graders and teach them to block better than this, and I'm not even an old line coach. This is ridiculous. And how does this guy still have a job? There's no way. We saw promise against Kentucky that the O line was kind of picking up a little bit. The guys had a little fire. They still had some mistakes. And I get it. We got some guys injured and losing Shed was bad. But there's no excuse that we haven't developed offensive linemen that can block. Now, I don't know the play calls. I don't understand any of our play calls. I don't know what the blocking schemes are for the play calling. I really don't. I just don't. Remember this? I keep saying this, and people don't believe me. But the Satterfield days when the blocking scheme, these guys are lost. You see, even the announcers are sitting there talking about the slide blocking and not recognizing who you're supposed to pick up. This is damn game 6, y'all. This is game 6. This ain't game 1. How do you not know who in the hell is your guy to block? I just I don't know. I mean, Faison had 68 yards rushing. He had a couple breakaways there, but we're still pounding our head. I just, for the life of me, I don't know what this team is. I am so absolutely 100% lost on what this team is. Did we even get a Did we get a sack tonight? Did Dylan Stewart get a sack? Maybe the fumble was a sack. I don't know, man. I'm just so this team is so confusing to me on how bad it really is. I I, I can't even get mad no more. You know, people tell me, "Oh, Rooster," when I did my video the other day, and I was very upset after Beamer's press conference. Oh, you need to get Velcro on your lips. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, I'm being honest and telling y'all what the hell is going on, putting the questions out there for everybody, and no one wants to agree with me. Y'all, like, there's so many Gamecock fans still in this bubble that Shane Beamer's going to reignite this football team. You know, the whole thing for a little while there, Shane Beamer, well, he's at a point where he's won more games than Steve Spurrier. That's over with now. He doesn't have more wins than Steve Spurrier anymore at this point. And he's not going to catch Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier, from this point in year 6, went to the SEC championship game. And then after that, went to 3 11-win seasons. Does anyone think Shane Beamer's doing that the way this team looks? You're losing Lenore Sellers at the end of the year, guys. That guy's gone. He's going to be in the NFL. You might be lucky to keep Dylan Stewart. You're going to have to pay him a shit ton. So then where are you going to go find a quarterback? Because you haven't developed a backup. You're going to go in the transfer portal and bring in somebody new. They're going to look at this offense and say, F you. I'm not going over there and getting killed behind that old line. Adam Ritter said we won't make a bowl. Yeah, cereal bowl. You're right. Right now, this team is on pace to go 4-8. I know TRD said, well, Oklahoma looks beatable. I'm not going to say that. Shit, we look beatable. Mark says South Carolina needs some coaching changes. Where do you start? Man, you got to start at the guy at the top that's making the decisions. I mean, I like Beamer, but hey, I was a South Carolina fan before Beamer was ever thought about being born. And I'm gonna be a South Carolina fan until the day I die, which is probably gonna be long after Beamer is a coach here. I'm not dedicated to Shane Beamer. I'm dedicated to South Carolina, the Gamecocks. I want success with this football team. And if that takes firing Shane Beamer, Lonnie Teasley, anybody else that's on that coaching staff, I will not cry tomorrow if someone gets fired because you're not winning football games. You're not putting good product on the field. Justin Perrette says Clemson beat Boston College 41-10. So we're even with them now, 3-3. Hey, this is where South Carolina was last year. This is what people tell me. Oh, we was in the exact same position last year. Except the fact was two of the teams you beat at the end of the year last year already beat you this year. Remember that? You beat Vanderbilt late. You beat Missouri late. They've already beaten us this year. You got Oklahoma coming next week, which is a better team than they were last year. What if you go out and lose the next two games you got at home against Oklahoma and Alabama? How's the fan base going to feel then? Are y'all going to tell me to shut the hell up then? Or are you going to be on the wagon with me? R says we're not going anywhere with Beamer. I don't even want to listen to his damn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I typically stay up and listen to his, and I even thought about putting it on here tonight, trying to find this press conference, put it on. But it's gonna be the same shit we always hear. Is there any reason to listen to it? Well, it's on me. It starts with me. Whoa, no shit. $8 million. You damn right. It starts with you, Shane Beamer. $8 million you get paid, homie. You ain't that. It's like I was telling Chuck and those guys. This is $8 million. He is not a discount coach anymore. When he was winning you 7 games and 8 games, and he was only getting paid $3-4 million, that's okay. But now you're getting $8 million, and you ain't even gonna win. You'd have to pull out some shit out of your ass to win 7 games this year with the schedule that's left. I just, it is so confusing with all the talent we knew we had coming back this year. With everything they told us, like, right, we build our expectations off of what the coaches tell us. And I get it, they have to be salesmen because of recruiting purposes. But man, I don't know. Did did you oversell? Were you full of shit? Because it sure looks that way. I mean, you can recruit how many ever 4 and 5 stars. I mean, this offensive line, who do we have? I mean, you got 4 and 5-star guys everywhere. Now I get it, some of those are hurt. But even when they weren't hurt, the offensive line still wasn't blocking. I mean, Josiah Thompson, I sit here and watch. We get 2 penalties in a row. Remember, we get down there to the, we get 2 penalties in a row, which backs us up. And then all of a sudden, the next play is like 3rd and 18. Both tackles got blown the hell up. Lenoris is running from 2 guys that basically no one touched him. They kind of waved at him, hey, as they ran by. Yeah, that's our quarterback back there. Go back there and hit him. I mean, even Sellers, to get some of the yards that he got running, I want to know his broken tackle count tonight because it's pretty high. Because he broke a shit ton of tackles to get what little bit he was able to get. I'm so done, man. And I don't want to be negative, but what are they giving us to be positive about? We keep looking at the rest of the season, sitting there thinking, well, man, people, I don't know what people keep thinking that there's some miracle thing out here that uh, South Carolina's going to turn the page tomorrow. We're not turning the page. We haven't turned the page in 6 games. We're not turning, and we're not doing what we did last year. You're not going a 6-game win streak. Not going to happen. not with the schedule that's left. And I told everybody Clemson's going to get better through the season because they're going to play a bunch of weak ass teams. They're going to have more opportunities to get better. We're going to play a stronger schedule, and we're going to have more opportunities to get injured. I mean, we had guys all over the field. Now we've lost Cisse, one of our better DBs. It's just, I don't know what we're doing. I really don't. It's hard for me to fathom that you can take 2 weeks after Kentucky game to try and prepare, but instead, no. Beamer was on the road recruiting instead of keeping the guys there. Do our guys on this team even want to win? Because the guys went home and were home for a few days and then went back. I don't see where you play good enough in the first 5 games to even want to go home. You should have stayed in the building and worked. Everybody's worried about, oh, we got a week off. We get to take 5 days vacation, go recruit and do something. Won't you work on the damn team you got? You should have been in the building. Self-scout. Where's this self-scouting thing we keep hearing about? Well, we're self-scouting, but we keep going back and doing the same damn thing. What did Beamer say in an interview a couple of weeks ago in one of his press conferences about the insanity of doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result? Every time I watch this football team on a Saturday, they do the same shit over and over and over, and we're still expecting a different result. You keep the same guy in charge of the offensive line who can't figure out how to get us to do it. Like I said, I know a lot of this shit is complicated, right? Because play designs require what blocking assignments they call. Who takes who and how you set it up and do all that stuff. Well, nobody knows them. The offensive line don't even know. Obviously, they don't know. Please tell me they don't know. You can't tell me they don't know. There's no damn way. Unless it's just pure ass poor coaching. There's no way these kids are idiots. They're not stupid. It's coaching. But yet, we still have this guy employed. I know. Look, at least we got Spencer Rattler prepared to go to New Orleans and sit behind another awful offensive line. We let Omega Blake walk away. He's one of the best wide receivers on Arkansas. I don't know if y'all been watching him lately. A lot of guys that are leaving South Carolina. Michael Smith left. There going to be more. Y'all want to see the meltdown? Wait till more of these kids start walking out the door because they ain't getting no playing time. But yet there's people out there sitting on the damn. What's up, LSU Hyper Ninja? Saddest part of South Carolina is even worse. We are worse 3-3 than we were last year. Last year, if you think about our losses, it was LSU, Alabama. I mean, we lost to what is considered elite teams. We watched Missouri went to the wire with Alabama after they beat us. Them and Vandy's playing. I mean, we're going to finish down somewhere close to Kentucky, Mississippi State, probably Auburn. I mean, we're all going to be down in that 6-6 or lower range. Florida. I mean, Florida's having a fit. They want to fire Billy Napier. But if we say something about firing Beamer, boy, we get crucified. Yeah, we ain't firing Beamer. $8 million. You can win football games, bro. Not 4 anymore. Not 3 anymore. Well, he's overachieved. Well, now he's way underachieving with the talent that he has on this roster. According to Shane Beamer, there's plenty of talent on this roster. According to PFF, there's plenty of talent on this roster. Illegal Tiger Red Devil, illegal formation at all. Hey, you know what? Had we got that first down the way we were playing TRD, that didn't guarantee shit. That didn't guarantee a damn thing. Well, that guarantee we got a first down, but that wasn't no guarantee we were going to get no points off of it. President Slick Dick. He giving LSU Hyper Ninja some shit. Hey, y'all lay off my LSU Hyper Ninja. He's all right, dude. He don't come in here trash talking nobody. Y'all don't pick on him too much. Who's blaming the refs? We know this team is terrible. Yeah, I didn't. There were a few questionable calls in there, but hell, there were some both ways. I mean, I don't even care about the rest. It's just like I said in my video earlier. I don't care. Well, the guy was saying a revenge game for South Carolina versus LSU. I'm like, we never accused LSU of shit last year, dude. Yeah, we were pissed off at the refs last year. Did we have a right to be kind of pissed off? You can't let one bad call beat you. The problem is the team played awful, except for the defense. The defense, I think, played tremendously. They start getting tired, of course, at the end of the game because they're always out there, and then they were getting banged up and guys were getting hurt. Um, I just, for the life of me, this team is bad. It is just bad on the offensive side of the football, and I don't know how many times you just got to keep beating yourself in the head about it. I don't know how many times we can hype ourselves up, and we always do this, right? We come off a game, we're miserable about the game, we see how shitty the team played, we talk about it for a couple days, and then all of a sudden, we start drinking that milk again or that damn Kool-Aid, and we go back to another football game and it looks the exact same. And then we do the same thing. We bitch for a couple days, we come back, we drink the Kool-Aid again, we believe what Beamer sells us. I'll tell you what, that man's got one hell of a sales career in his next job because there ain't going to be another power four head coaching job for him. Who's going to hire him? Who the hell is going to hire him? What's up, Cash Stampede? No more hype, Rooster. Oh, but I get crucified if I say something. People tell me to put Velcro on my mouth. If I don't got nothing positive, I'm like, hey, look, this is my channel. If y'all don't want to fucking hear what I got to say, you don't have to listen. It's a free country. I don't force anybody to come over here and listen. I like to hear you guys. That's why I read the comments. I want to know what you guys are saying. And get a pulse on the fan base. Man, I'm right there with everybody. Uh, Seller doesn't go through his progression. Well, half the time he's getting beat in the head. It's kind of hard to get through when you got defensive lineman up your ass. Uh, LSU did have a couple. LSU's not that great of a football team. That's the thing. Everyone keeps thinking it's because it's LSU. Well, they're this, they're that. That is not a really good football team. And we're going to find out before this year's over, just like we found out last year when they ended up 8-4 at the end of the season. LSU is going to get shown that they're not that great of a football team. They're not. Their defense is pretty good. They ran the ball okay once we started getting worn out, but early in the game, South Carolina was stopping that run. Nussmeier is not Nussmeier of last year. He wasn't denied either. He made a couple good throws, but then he still made some overthrows and everything else. Now, the announcers on the game's got to make it sound good, but if you really go back and rewatch the game, he was not that good. Uh, if we watch the game, Sellers constantly running because of his offensive line. Of course, we were lucky LSU was beating themselves on offense. That's what I'm telling you. Are you right? LSU is not that good a football team, y'all. We're just that bad. We're You can't go out and get an ego about beating Kentucky, who is the Kentucky's got to be. If they're not the worst team in the SEC, they're right there with them. I can tell you that. And people come tell you ain't no coach, Rooster. How do you know? But dude, it don't take a rocket science to figure out what bad football looks like. We all know what bad football is. Ain't none of us no fucking veterinarian, but we all know what a horse's ass looks like, right? I don't get paid $8 million to figure it out. Now, if y'all want to, Gamecock Chelsea, he ain't rewatching that game. Why? I ain't either. I ain't rewatching that shit. I'm not. I don't. I'm telling you, I don't even want to hear the press conference because it's going to be the same old shit said. And then when we get to the Tuesday press conference, we're going to have the same old shit said. Then they're going to get to the Wednesday press conferences with the coordinators, and it's going to be the same. I'm telling you, Mike Shula looks like a dude that should be in South Beach, Florida, in his damn bungalow with a surfboard, looking for a big wave. He does not need to be an offensive coordinator at South Carolina. He is clueless even in his press conferences on Wednesdays. I've got to the point I can't listen to the guy when he talks. He's just like a space cadet. Like, hey, dude, let's go catch a wave, kind of guy. I mean, I just don't. Oh, Brian Ackerman wants to hire John Gruden. No, I don't know if John Gruden would make a good college coach. And do we want to take a chance on experimenting again? A lot of these pro guys, NFL guys, don't turn out to do very good in college. Now Gruden, I loved him as an NFL coach. You're in a whole different world now. You got to go out recruiting. You got to do, and now you got to handle this $20 million or whatever. Um, I just you take a chance. I mean, what's Chuck and TV talking? I miss TV over here. TC Sports Talk. Carolina's first offensive play told everything you know about our offense. I need to hire Sam Pittman for O-line. We need to hire somebody that wants to run a college offense. I'm telling you right now, I'd take a blank check down to South Florida. I don't give a damn if we lose a football game, but Alex Golesh and that offense is fun to watch. And they run plays so damn fast that they wear teams out. And I know y'all gonna say, well, that's the Tennessee offense. Hey, that guy is dialing it the hell up because I watched them kick the living shit Friday night out of North Texas, and North Texas was favored. I'm like, how the hell is North Texas favored in this game? Well, it was a home game for North Texas. I'm like, man, did Vegas watch USF so far this year? I don't, I don't get it. Yeah, they had the one bad loss against Miami, but holy shit, them dudes run a play every like 20 seconds. I don't know. Andrew the textbook says Alex Golesh is a good offensive coach, as is Sonny Dykes. I said the same thing. JC and Sherbert and those guys. JC says no Sonny Dykes. I'm like, how do you know he wouldn't be good at South Carolina? Well, I don't know he wouldn't be good. Fuck, he's good at TCU. Hell, you get Texas boys recruited into South Carolina if you had him. Might get some more talent in there because right now I can't say outside of Dylan Stewart and Harbor on occasion that the Maryland boys have really brought much to the table. Tree, I guess. But hell, he wasn't hardly on the field today. They finally got him in there because people got banged up. But Josiah Thompson just flat out got whooped today. He's been getting whooped all year, and he got whooped plenty today. There is no way. When I watch the football game, I love looking at that. And I know all of us now have been so hyper focused on this offensive line and what's going on offensively that now we all see it, right? We all see the issues. So now we're really focused on it. And you're like, well, what the hell is this going on? What's the play calling? What's the offensive line? Why can't the tight ends block? I mean, you get a run from Lenore's, and for some reason, Brady Hunt decides to reach out and grab the defender and hold him for no reason. Lenore's was already past the guy. Why did you commit that penalty, dummy? The man Lenore's has already passed you and that guy. Oh, it's the simplest shit that you think coaching could fix, but they can't seem to do it, and I don't know why. If we didn't have Sellers at QB, we'd be 0-5, no joke. You're probably right, Blue. Because if it wasn't for his ability to break tackles, dude, if we had a statue of a quarterback back there, he would get murdered we wouldn't have him 2 games behind this O-line. Um, uh, Matt Fuller scores a 70-something yard and then disappears the rest of the first half. You're correct. And then they brought him in just here and there. He only had 7 rushes. 7 rushes. Faison with 13 at 68 yards. 13 carries, 68 yards. They only gave Oscar the ball once. And I've said this numerous times. Throw the ball to Oscar. You can use Oscar to catch passes out of the backfield. They won't use him for that. And I don't know why. He's the best pass catcher we have as a running back. And he's one of the better blockers out of our running back room. He might be the best blocker in our running back room. So when you're trying to protect, you have either Oscar or you have Mo Brown back there. Spread the ball out. Get everyone out of the box. Did a great job. Now, they did do a great job of keeping Harold Perkins from putting a lot of pressure on Lenoris most of the time because they kind of did a little bit what I said. You keep him out, and even the announcers talked about it. You keep him out of the box. And you can avoid him. Everybody was worried about him. He wasn't the one we need to be worried about. What we need to be worried about is our offensive line showing up and wanting to try to block anyone or know where they're even going to block. Stanley was so confused again on blocking that he helps he's helping the guard next to him block. And I can't even tell you I was so upset about it. I don't even know who the hell was next to him on the left side, but I think it was Newsom or somebody. Hell, I don't remember who they had over there. And lets a guy run right up the middle, free, wide open. All of a sudden, the guy's beside him, and he realizes, oh, shit, there's a defender. A defensive tackle running by me to go at my quarterback. Oh, shit. I don't think you can fix what's wrong with this football team right now because it's all mental. And they don't have anyone to teach them to get out of it. I think we are what we are, and you're going to see what we are the rest of the year. I don't think there's any reason for us to look to think this team's going to be much better. Actually, later in the year and the closer it starts getting to end of the season, and these guys that do have some dreams of going to the NFL, it might get worse. You start having a few more people walk off this football team, hit the transfer portal, might get worse. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I don't think your chances of getting better is till next season when you can make some changes in your coaching staff. I mean, yeah, you can move Teasley right now and you can put Sean Elliott over there, but then you're missing a tight end coach. I'm not sure it's just like we're talking about Matthew Fuller disappearing. We want to blame that on Mike Shula, but he's not the one that decides which running backs in the game and when they're in there. That's Blackwell. And you'll have people tell you they love Markel Blackwell. Why? Our running game has sucked. They'll blame it on Sean Elliott. Well, he's the run game coordinator. What the hell even is a run game coordinator other than a job title? You got a running back coach, and you have an offensive coordinator that's designing the plays. R1 Gamecock Chuck, he said he's frustrated. Yeah, we all are. Harley Mosley says, what is the anything to look forward to? I don't know. Looking at some of the young guys, I guess, develop. See what we might have next year if they stick around. We have a lot of love in our program. Yeah, love only going to carry you so far. These boys want to make NFL rosters. They want to make money. They got plenty of family around they can love on. They want to win football games. They want to make it to the NFL, and they want to make money on the way to getting there. But like people thinking, oh, I've had so many people tell me, well, Lenoris is coming back, or you see it all over X. Lenoris will be back. Lenoris Sellers, let me tell you, I'll make a comparison for you. Does anyone know what Anthony Richardson's contract was last year when he got drafted 5th? $33 million. Over, I think it was 20, almost 25 of it, 24 something. Guaranteed. So if anyone thinks that Lenoris Sellers is going to get drafted somewhere in that similar situation, and he's going to get $25 million guaranteed, that he ain't leaving, y'all are sadly mistaken. So don't nobody get your hopes up that Lenore Sellers is coming back to South Carolina for $5 million, $6 million. It ain't happening. The man's going to be guaranteed a $35 million, or going to have a $35 million contract with 25 of it being guaranteed, and that's his rookie contract. He ain't coming back. Knox Eternus said he going to play damn pickleball. Hey, at least you be in better shape. Hell, we might all need to go play pickleball. But I knew, I just told everybody, I just had to come in and laugh tonight. There's no way I was going to be upset like I was when we lost to Vanderbilt. No way I was going to yell and scream. I'm over it. I'm not going to do it because you know what? I don't do no good. I have as much fire and passion and Gamecock Chuck. If you ever watch his live streams, go over and subscribe to Gamecock Chuck and watch his live streams. Watch him scream and yell. Watch Carolina Jackpot scream and yell about this football team and get upset during these football games. I sat back tonight and just chilled and watched the game and just shook my head. Was in the comment section with Chuck, but I wasn't getting upset. I did a little halftime video. I'm not out here yelling and screaming over this Gamecock team anymore because there's not a damn thing I can do about it. Billy Cole said, but he's loyal to the team. No, he's not. He go. Yeah, Billy Cole, you and I had this discussion a long time ago about these kids and these players, and when it comes to these contracts and this money, ain't nobody loyal to no team no more. Them days are gone. Coaches ain't loyal. Why should a player be? Everybody gets on the players. Oh, well, he just wants to quit and move on. Hell, coaches do it to the kids all the time. What's up, Matt? Doom it. They won't break shit like Jackpot does. Yeah. Oh, I damn sure ain't breaking none of my stuff over over South Carolina football game. I paid good money for my stuff. I ain't out here gonna be about to break no TVs and shit. Loyal to the money. That's what everybody is. Isn't that what you are? It's your job. You loyal to the money. But hell, if somebody comes along and you know you can move up in another company and you're about to like triple your income, what your ass gonna do? You going to? What's up, Daddy? Oh, 20, letting 22 kids ruin your weekend. Nah, we ain't doing that no more, Daddy. We ain't doing that. Bird the Fly says he thinks the $8 million offer from Auburn was BS. It might have been a 2-year $8 million offer. It wasn't. Ain't nobody gave him no $8 million for 1 year. Hell no. Cash Stampede says Crackpot. Well, Crackpot drove all the way to down Louisiana to watch that miserable ass football game. Boy, you could have stayed. You could have saved your money and stayed your ass at home instead of going all the way down there to watch that shit. I did it one time. It takes me from where I was, taking me about 11 hours to drive to Columbia, South Carolina. And my wife and I went up there for Shane Beamer's very first game against whatever the hell they were, that out Eastern Illinois or whatever. And I said I wouldn't do it again until the team. I know this team is going to be competitive on a regular basis. I'll go, but there's no way I'm getting in my vehicle and driving 11, 12 hours and drag my wife through all that shit to get up there to just watch this team play to where they're playing right now. I've been invited. Oscar's dad, Oscar Jr., asked me all the time, hey, when are you going to come up to a game? I want to meet you. We'll go out to get something to eat and hang out and stuff. Not until this team's playing better than this. And the frustration's in the players too. You can see it in their face. The players are frustrated because every player that's out there playing their heart out and playing good looks over to one group, and they're never going to say it because they're not going to talk about their friends and their teammates. But they look at that one group and say, God darn it, this is what's killing us. How long does that last before it starts to become a inside the locker room issue? Yeah, 4-8 doesn't have to cost as much. Excited says you're right. $8 million, buddy. $8 million. Gamecock Chuck said he ain't driving either. He gave up his damn season tickets. And I have had many, 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 many other people. And this, like my buddy Dealmaker over there, Sports Talk with the Dealmaker likes to argue with me. Beamer's bringing in too much money. You don't know how many people's come on here and in my comments unless you go through all my videos and see how many season ticket holders have told me they're giving up their season tickets. They're not doing it after this year. They're getting too expensive. They're redesigning that stadium. They're taking seats out. They're putting in these higher dollar seats. They're going to cost more. Just like Dealmaker says, Beamer brings in so much money to South Carolina, they'll never get rid of him. Beamer don't bring in no money to South Carolina. We pay him $8 million a year. The person that's making the deal for Blanchard and putting Blanchard on the field and liquor sponsors in that stadium and getting all this stuff done, that's the athletic director's job and the president of the university. They're the ones bringing in that money. They're the ones that's going out and getting those contracts and signing those contracts. And we know with Nike, the main one, and you can look on her X that she's got Jordan shoes everywhere, was Don Staley, is the Nike deal. And I told everybody that before it ever even happened. You go to Nike, it's going to be because Don Staley, and they want that women's basketball program because that's something, that's a market amongst young ladies that Nike wants. And you add Asia Wilson and what Asia just did in the WNBA this year, that's what Nike wanted. Now you got Asia Wilson, you got Dawn, and you got that women's basketball team under Nike. You think Nike needed South Carolina as a football team? They got 100 football teams. Some of them a hell of a lot better than South Carolina. I mean, Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. You want to keep going about how many football teams Nike has? The vast majority of them. They came for Don Staley, that women's basketball team, and that had a lot to do with Asia Wilson. People can believe it or not. I'm telling you, that's exactly. Just look at Don Staley's Twitter page, and you'll see all the Air Jordan shoes that she's getting. I don't see Beamer with no Air Jordans on. Oh, I just asked God to coach the Gamecocks. He said, "Not with that old line." Holy, God won't even protect us from that old line. It's sad thing is, man, I don't think it's the kids, y'all. I really don't. It's between the offensive play calls and how confused this NFL crap. I don't want to hear pro style. I thought when Marcus Satterfield left that I would never have to hear the words pro style again because that was so awful that we just get away from it. But that is Beamer. That is Shane Beamer. Everyone wants to say this is Shane Beamer even said it in one of his press conferences. It might have been, I want to say it was after Kentucky. When I listened to it, he said, well, I was in on one of the play calls. It was one of the running plays. And it was the whole thing where Lenoris just decided to run his own plays. And I don't care what the hell Shula said in his press conference on Wednesday. We know because Beamer already told us that Lenoris decided to run plays on his own that were not supposed to be option plays. He just did them. And then we saw him do it again tonight where the play was supposed to go to the right and he turned around and took off to the left, which was actually the one I think the holding was called on, what's his name? So, man, I don't know where to go with this football team other than we're just going to watch and see what happens the rest of this year. But everyone can say what they want to about this team. None of us are on the inside, right? But I do know there is some frustration because I do know some people that are on the inside. What has happened to Mazio Bennett? They tried to throw it to him a couple times. They did it back to back on 2 plays. And he was actually covered or might have been pass interfered with, but he never caught a thing. You don't think with all these young wide receivers you got Mazio, you got Rowe, you got Murph, you got Clark, you got all these guys that are sophomores and freshmen and redshirt freshmen. You ain't keeping 8 or 9 of these young, highly 4-star wide receivers on that team. Some of them are going somewhere to play. They'll be somewhere. They might be in Tennessee. Who knows where the hell they transferred to? Tennessee wanted a few of them. Florida State, Malik Clark was there first, then switched to us. But he ain't going back to the Florida State. That's a complete fucking dumpster fire. Andrew the Textbook says J.C. Sherbert wrote a splendid article in 2018 about how pro-style offenses have never worked at South Carolina and how they have led to a few coaches' demise at South Carolina. It killed Muschamp. The only one that could put some pro style stuff in his offense and make it work was Steve Spurrier. But he didn't do it all the time. Spurrier would dial it up, open it up. He had a blend that was mixed in with that fun and gun that he had at Florida, mixed in with some pro style concepts because he had guys like Marcus Lattimore. But Lattimore caught a bunch. Like everyone thinks Lattimore is such a dynamic running back, but he was dynamic because how many times do we see him catch balls out of the backfield and make big plays? It wasn't just about handing him the ball and he made big plays. Hell, he was catching the ball out of the backfield, making big plays. But you had guys like Ace Sanders and uh, all these other wide receivers, Farrell Cooper, all these guys were making plays, and you could depend on them to make plays. Muschamp had a much more established wide receiver core. If you think about the guys that come under Muschamp between Brian Edwards, and think about it, they didn't have a good quarterback play. But if you think about the NFL wide receivers that came through Muschamp, you think about the secondary players that came through Muschamp. A lot of NFL guys came through Muschamp, but he can never put the team together. Same thing is happening now. I said that during Chuck Stream. So, oh no, ain't nothing like when Muschamp was here, bro. It's headed the same direction. Muschamp was pretty good in his first couple of years, and then it went to shit. Blue, I brought that up earlier about Omega Blake. Let him go, and now shit, he's killing it over at Arkansas. But it's just, I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing. I guess that's the problem, and I'm sure we all are scratching our heads. Birdfly said Mike Bozo. Well, I mean, hell, Muschamp went through like 4 offensive coordinators, and he was only here 4 years. Did we ever have the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row? No. I mean, I guess you would say Mike Bobo, but that was the year. His second year was the year Muschamp got fired. But hell, Muschamp went through Roper and all these other cats. It's like Brian, whatever's McClendon. I'm like, oh boy. And tight end Smith is just a start. You're right, Blue. And all he wanted to do was play. And you can't tell me that y'all sat here and watched any other tight end on this football team really perform. They're so hung on this, like we all know, we've all heard this, right? There's players that play when the lights come on. They may not be. Alshon Jeffrey was one of these cats, not that good at practice. But boy, when the lights came on and it was time to strap up and get out there and win a football game, he sure played his ass off, didn't he? Jadeveon Clowney was not a practice player. He was not. Anyone ever tried to tell you Jadeveon Clowney was some freak athlete on the practice field, just like he was in football games? They lying to you. He was not that guy. Kevin Cox brings up a good point right here. Let's talk about Kevin Cox's comment here for a minute. Shane knows nothing about head coaching. 7 weeks and still can't block or tackle, and those penalties. That's bad coaching. The problem is, Kevin Cox, this ain't just 7 weeks, though. This is 4 years, if you think back. I mean, we forgive him 21, right? Piece together whatever he could piece together, kind of that was what it was. 22 had a decent season, but not really until the end of the year. You had the 2 big wins. Tennessee, we'll give you credit that you took out Texas A&M for the first time for a South Carolina head coach. Not very good against Texas A&M. Beamer was able to do it in 22. Bad Texas A&M team, though, is firing Jimbo's ass. But if you think about it, it was always blocking and tackling. I was so pissed off that I wanted Clayton White fired, and people gave me shit for it. Oh, no, don't get Clayton White fired. I'm like, why? The basics. They're not doing the basics. If anything, you should be able to tackle. If anything, you should be able to do is block. If it's that If it's that complicated, don't freaking do it. And that's the difference between college offenses and NFL and these pro style offenses. Too many different blocking schemes, too many different calls, and it gets confusing. We've heard the old linemen say it themselves. Oh, well, we couldn't hear, or we couldn't figure out what the play was. I mean, we had them both do a press. We had two offensive linemen, Bo Stanley and Casey Henry, do press conferences in the same day. And Casey Henry says, well, when we're doing this, it was three initials. I don't even remember what the hell it was. When we're doing this is what that means or whatever. And then the reporter asked Bo Stanley about that, and he don't even know what the hell Casey Henry's talking about. I'm like, y'all in the same room, and you use certain initials or certain things to describe something, but y'all don't even know what the hell the same word is. And most of the time, that's all you hear from the kids is they repeat some of the exact same crap that the coaches say, because you hear them say it. That whole 1% thing, get better 1% every day. Boy, you know how many years it's going to take you to get where you want to be if you only get 1% better every day? You got to make strides to get better. Nussmeier had the same amount of time to pass as Sellers, but he had more completion. He's also quicker. They have quicker passing routes, and he gets the ball out a lot faster than Lenore's. I guarantee you, you can look up this stat somewhere on how quick he gets rid of the football, and it's a hell of a lot faster than we do, because our routes take too long to develop. And that's another thing when it comes to pro style NFL stuff. Their stuff sometimes takes a long time to develop. For those of us in here that are Panther fans, look at a lot of their routes. You have to have an NFL offensive line for that shit to work. South Carolina does not have that. You have to be able to go to practice 50, 60, 70 hours a damn week. College football players can't do that. They have school. And they're limited by the NCAA how much time they can do that with coaches. 20 hours a week, I think, is what they're limited to. That might have changed now, but last time I ever checked on that, players can be with coaches 20 hours a week. That's it. That's it. So you're limited. You can't run this crazy ass complicated bullshit when you don't even have time to get it figured out. That's why some of these college offenses are so simple, but yet very hard to defend, because you ain't gonna out Georgia if you're South Carolina. You will never have their talent. So if you try to run some kind of concept of what Georgia does, and that's almost like what Beamer does. I mean, I say it all the time. It reminds me of what Buffalo Bills, which is where Mike Shula was before he came to South Carolina, which is the 2019 LSU. That is not the 2025 LSU. That's 2019. A lot of those concepts that Buffalo use is 2019 LSU, because they have their offense coordinator. What's his name? Joe. Shit, I can't think right now, but Joe Brady. Joe Brady is at Buffalo. Joe Brady is the offense coordinator at Buffalo, exactly where Mike Shula came from, and it's almost the same kind of damn offense. But you don't have Buffalo's offensive line. Lenore Sellers is nowhere developed of a Josh Allen yet, but you're trying to run that scheme. Never going to work at South Carolina. And Beamer's just as hard headed about it, because that's what he wants to run. You know how I know he wants to run that? Because he hired every freaking offensive coordinator has come from the NFL. All retreads. Marcus Satterfield, NFL. Dow Loggins, NFL. Failed as a head coach in the NFL for two different NFL football teams. But Dow Loggins was smart enough. Oh, look, I'm not going to be able to do this, so I'm going to have to let Lenore's be Lenore's and let him go run around, let him throw the football around. And that's not what we're trying to do now. And we designed runs for Lenore's tonight. He did pretty good. A lot of Gamecock fans think we shouldn't design and run for Lenore's. If we don't, we ain't got nobody else that can run. Who the hell else you going to design and run for? One guy that broke a 70, 80 yard damn run. Outside of that, we ain't running the ball with the shit. The best runner you got is your quarterback. Hey, I'll watch. Anybody else watch college football today and watch all these quarterbacks running design runs? They do it. Every football team does it. Every college football team does it. Design run quarterback. Shane Beamer needs to man the fuck up and fire some people. And he also needs to get a different philosophy in his mind on what he wants offensively. This is not his daddy's 1990s, early 2000s Virginia Tech teams. You can't run offenses like that anymore. They didn't even know when Mike Vick went to Virginia Tech, they didn't even know what the hell to do with him. They had to totally try to figure out what the hell to even do with him as quarterback. They never had nothing like that. They didn't know what to do with him. You would think someone like Shane Beamer, who worked under Steve Spurrier and Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, with the quarterbacks they had at Oklahoma, would know what a college offense looks like, right? You say, well, Oklahoma ran the ball. Yeah, because they could pass. It's like Ole Miss. It's like Lane Kiffin. Because they were teams had to respect the pass so much against Oklahoma, you could run the football. Tennessee, the same thing. Teams have to respect the throwing and the passing of Tennessee that you can run the football. People have to respect Ole Miss from throwing the football so much that they can run. It's just all, I mean, they use the pass to set up the run because people can't stack the box against them. I mean, Ole Miss ran over the same LSU team that we just struggled against. So does anybody think we're going out and beating Ole Miss? Yeah, everybody's gonna say, well, they struggled against Washington State today. They overlooked Washington State. Ole Miss flat out overlooked. That was a trap game. They won their trap game, but you can bet your ass they flat out overlooked, and they thought that they were going to walk over Washington State. And all of a sudden, they figured out they were in a fight because Washington State, that was their Super Bowl. They were coming in here to beat a SEC team and try to prove to some league, some conference, that they belong. They want to get into a power conference. They were trying to prove that today if they could have pulled an upset over Ole Miss. They were trying to prove it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, we're winning the netting next season. Cash Stampede. If you ever want to keep cash in front of your name, you better not bet that. Because you'll be broke, Stampede. Blue, yes, you're correct. You are absolutely correct. Because as many times as we saw Sellers run out of bounds, he didn't do that last year. You damn right. He's protecting himself and that money. And you with these kids, man, they have agents now, and the agents are in their ears, and they're telling them that, and parents are telling them that, and people around them are telling them that. Hey, man, this team, you ain't gonna win no championship with this team. Start protecting yourself. Don't take chances to get hurt. Then he got his ribs lit up, which is something I was hoping we were going to be able to do, but we couldn't get close to Nussmeier because he just gets rid of the ball. They have routes where he can get rid of the ball real fast because their offensive line is straight up trash too. Their offensive line is awful, just like ours. Andrew says Steve Spurrier, who was the Oklahoma quarterback that won a national championship. Shit. Jason, what's his name? Jason White. Am I right with that, Billy Cole? I mean, I know they won more than one national championship, so I don't remember which one. I don't know which one you're talking about. Seemed like a guy named Jason White was them, though. The Funny Gun. That's what. Oh, yeah. I'd like to see some fun offense again. I ain't going to see it under this regime. Beamer's the new Saban. Yeah, okay. What? He needs to retire? Go on ESPN. That's what you're telling me, Cash Stampede? Beamer needs to go on ESPN. He needs to retire and go on ESPN. Our loyalty to these teams keeps these shitty coaches doing the same old shit every year. It's a curse. We are so loyal, and it's an insult to us fans how we get repaid. Well, Knox, when the fans stop showing up, we'll see it. We got to start thinking about the generation, like this new, like the generation lower than us. Don't forget, that's the Tide Pod generation. They eat Tide Pods for, you know, some reason. The Tide Pod generation ain't going to spend the money and be as loyal as like our generation and the older generation. You get to like probably past what people that are like 35, 40 now and older are the people that spend the money because they're the people that have the money to spend. Most of the young people that go out there, they just go to party, drink beer. They show up to a football game. Hey, yay! After the football game, they just go party more. They're not sitting here talking about South Carolina football on YouTube like all us dummies. Kevin Cox says he's 61, soon to be 62. I've been pulling for Carolina over 50 years. Give me something just once instead of same old thing every year. That's what I say. When people try to get after me, Kevin Cox, about some of my comments, I'm like, look, man, some of y'all, I've probably been a Gamecock fan twice your age and longer than your daddy was. I've been a Gamecock fan before you were ever a tingle in your father's sack. So don't come over here and tell me how to be a fan. Just like last year, I was more positive, and my buddy Jackpot was the more negative. And remember, you need to tell Jackpot this, tell Jackpot that. Look, I don't tell people how to fan. Don't come over here trying to tell me how to be a fan. R says they drink Tide Pods, but we drink Kool-Aid. Or they eat Tide Pods and we drink Kool-Aid. That's a fact. I don't know. I don't always buy the bullshit. I haven't bought the bullshit this year like I did last year. I try to do some motivating things like that video I did earlier where South Carolina win, but I also did a SEC video. If you go in there and I predicted South Carolina lose 17-10 or something like that. I didn't think it was gonna be a high scoring game, but I actually did pick us to lose. And then today I felt good. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go throw some positive vibes out there for everybody. Let's see if we can be positive about it. Nope. Nope. TC Sports Out said when they lost. 21 straight. Yeah, but not to the degree. Don't let them fool you to them stands were anywhere packed like you think they were. There wasn't no 80,000 strong up in there when they were on that kind of losing streak. There's a lot of empty seats in there, and then there was a lot of seats filled by other fan bases because they knew they were coming to South Carolina and get a guaranteed win. There's been times Gamecock fans been outnumbered at Willie B. Pretty damn close to it. We were selling our tickets to other fans. Like it got to a point where you saw people telling them, hey, Gamecock fans, don't sell your tickets to other fan bases because it was happening. It was damn sure happening. Billy Cole says he's since 74, he's worried. Gamecocks have had good years, man, but they're few and far between and they're not consistent. And I think that's the biggest problem. Adam Ritter says Beamer's lost a fan base to a certain degree. I think a certain part of the fan base he has. But I don't think the fan base is so far gone that if Beamer made some changes and you looked at what he was doing as positive things to try to make the team better, I think he's still good with the fan base. The problem is when you know you got issues and you see that he's not addressing those issues, and it's pretty obvious to even just the simple eyes like us of what the hell is happening. Now they'll try to tell us we're stupid and we don't know what the hell we're talking about. Well, you're not in practice every day. I don't have to be to see a bad football team on a field. I don't have to be at practice every day to see whatever the hell y'all are doing in practice ain't working. So, hey, I don't know. I mean, y'all notice Beamer got away from the doom and gloomers, and what he used to tell us all the time. We need to find some joy. He ain't told us to find no joy in a while. He got away from telling us to find joy. There for a little while, he was very snapbackish at Gamecock fans too. You notice he quit that shit. Because I did get frustrated with him a lot of times. He'd be coming back at South Carolina fans like, Beamer, bro, you crossing a line. Don't snap back at the ones that pay your damn salary, fool. Bite the hand that feeds you, your ass will be on the street. You ain't got Ray Tanner to protect you no more. What's up, Max Todd? What's up, SECFT? Shula needs to be gone. She should have been gone. They're going to say, well, what kind of... here's what I get. How do you expect the offensive coordinator to be successful when the O-line can't block? Who in the flying hell do you think designs these plays? Who designs the blocking schemes? Offensive coordinator. Then it's up to the offensive line coach to teach the guys how to block for this play, which is a failure on both sides. Who's on the headset that could overrule any decision, do anything you wanted to do? Dan Patrick O'Brien says O-line played better tonight. What game did you watch? Dan Patrick, I ain't trying to, I hope you just pulling our leg by saying that. They were definitely worse tonight than they were against Kentucky. Now you can say, oh, LSU's better defensively than Kentucky, and you'd be right about that. But the O-line was atrocious. Mental mistake. I said one of my keys: if you're going to beat LSU, you cannot make the mental mistakes. You cannot have the pre-snap penalties. You cannot have all these penalties. You could not get back in the realm of where we were against Mizzou, and I'll be damned if we wasn't. I don't know what we ended up with penalty wise. Let me see if that'll show that over here. Overview. Will it show both teams? Does it show penalties in here? No, it don't give me the breakdown of how many. But I know we had 8 for 50 something yards at one time. We had 2 interceptions, fumble loss. Why is it not showing me? No, we didn't have a sack tonight. It says LSU gave up 0 sacks, so they didn't count that fumble as a sack on Nussmeier. We got sacked 5 times. 5 times. Penalties. Here we go. 13 for 65 yards. Now the yardage wasn't as bad as Mizzou, but we have 14 penalties for over 100 in that game. We can't go on the road and not just commit penalty after penalty after penalty. We're bad enough about it at home, but we go on the road, it's even worse. Dan Patrick on said, "Nah, I watched every snap." And you thought the offensive line played good, Dan Patrick? Come on, man. I just told you we gave up 5 sacks. If you look at most of those 13 penalties, there were pre-snap penalties on the offense. Kentucky is trash, a high school team. Yeah, Kentucky's pretty bad. But we are too. Night Ranger says Carolina's terrible. I ain't disagreeing with you. But I'm just telling you, everybody's going to say, well, that was LSU. I'm telling you, LSU ain't that good. Y'all wait and see by the end of the year. You're going to find out, unless LSU turns around, that football team is not that good. What did LSU have running? Our defense was really good. They had 166 rushing yards. We had 193. Total yards, LSU 420, South Carolina 317. Yards per play, 4.4. LSU was 6.7. First downs, they had 22, we had 20. Third down efficiency, 6 of 16. Another murderous stat about our offense. Don't look at the year on how good we are on third downs because it is god awful. And we try to run the quarterback up the middle on a 3rd and 8. Woohoo! Smart move there, buddy. Quarterback design run 3rd and 8. That's gonna win you football games. Never. Um, Rooster is an armchair coach. No, I just tell you what I see. I see awful. I say it looks awful. uh, I ain't no armchair coach. I'm not any kind of coach, but I know shit look bad when it looks bad. I don't think any of us have to be a coach to know this team sucks. Uh, I agree LSU sucks, but damn y'all acting like we ain't. We got hosed on calls too. The one outside of the punt call, name one other call we got hosed on. If you think it's like every holding call is going to ever get called, that's never going to happen. Every pass interference call is never going to happen. You're not getting those every time. Hell, I watched guys get mugged last night, and today, and there was no pass interference calls called at all. They're actually throwing the PI is one. Yeah, but sometimes you're just going to get those. I saw guys get mugged and not get a pass interference. It just depends on the crew what they let you get away with on pass interference. We would love to have Rooster as a head coach. Oh hell no! I'd fire everybody in the building. I'd go in there with a group of us South Carolina YouTubers and start coaching. Couldn't do no worse. Anybody with eyes noticing? Yeah. Multiple holding calls, but that works both ways, damn Patrick. You're not watching when South Carolina's holding and get away with it. Because we get away with them too. Holding, you're always going to have that in football. They're not going to call that every time. Pass interference, you're going to get those both ways. I'm not sitting here blaming the officials that we lost that game tonight. We sucked. The officials did not lose us that football game. There was no way. I mean, hell, they had almost as many penalty yards as we did. They were 5 for 54. We were 13 for 65, which now we did probably have the shortest penalty of all time tonight. We got called for wasn't it a false start, and we were on like the 6-yard line, so we got penalized for 3-inch line. 6 yard, we got a 3-inch penalty, 4-inch penalty. We didn't sell. Oh yeah, you're in here just trolling me, damn Patrick. Get the hell out of here. I ain't buying that shit no more. You're just fucking with me. We played our asses off. Yeah, damn Patrick trying to be a troll. I done caught on to his shit now. Get out of here. Keep telling like I got to turn off. Too much pain again. Yeah, you know how it is. We can pull it. Yeah, damn Patrick just want to be fucking with me. That's all it is. I am gonna keep telling it like it is. I'm about to get out of here too. It's bedtime for all of us. I had about all the disappointment I can stand for one evening. Yeah, I'm y'all out here pissing in y'all own Kool-Aid. Yeah, I don't give a shit no more, man. It is what it is. The team's gonna do what they do, and Beamer's gonna be who Beamer is because he's too damn stubborn to change. Until he's gonna be at the end of the year, he'll be forced. It'll either be him or some staff members that gotta go. Because Gamecock fans will love you. But I'm going to tell you what, they get to a certain point and they're done with you. Beamer ever pushed this fan base that everyone's done with him, which he won't because we got that loving crowd around Columbia. They love them some Shane Beamer up there in Columbia, South Carolina. He comes around and hangs out with them, plays golf, gives them praise, pats on the back, and interviews, press conferences. They love that. Everybody loves to be recognized. Uh, then Patrick watches from the corner. Yeah, he probably does. Knox says Dan Patrick is a joke. He's trying to make jokes. He's just trying to be funny. Final thought. Nice guys finish last. Yeah, when they start talking about you being a nice guy, oh well, he's a nice guy. Well, at that point you're pretty much done for. Then you might as well go on and start filling out your resume for the next position. You might have to hit the soup line for a couple months, but somebody will give you a job. Hey, Beamer's a good special teams coach. He'll always have a job. He'll always have a position as a special team coach for somebody. But he won't be an offense coordinator. He's not going to be a defensive coordinator. And I guarantee you, he ain't going to be no head coach if South Carolina gets ready. And not on no Power 4 team. He might get a job he might go up there and be the special teams coordinator at App State for Dal Loggins. Wouldn't that be some shit? Maybe Pete Limbo will give him a job up there at Buffalo. Hey, he's got plenty of coaches that are head coaches somewhere else at smaller schools. He always got a job guarantee. Hey, you remember when I gave you that job one time? I need one now. Thank you, Night Ranger. Rooster Rock. I'm about to go rock the pillow on my bed and forget this day ever happened. No, I won't forget. We'll be talking about it again all week. We'll be talking about Oklahoma. Billy Cole said Coastal wouldn't hire Beamer. Damn. Coastal don't need a coach, though, according to Dealmaker Billy Cole. Remember that. Coastal played a good game. And so he got their absolutely brains beat out by Old Dominion. 48 to something, I think it was. 10, something like that. They were able to beat South Alabama and some kind of directional school in Louisiana tonight. But they're good. Oh, Lord. He's going to be Clemson's next coach. Him and Dabo might be out there playing golf together. They like to play golf together. So 3 chips at Clemson. Beamer ain't going to win. The only place Beamer winning 3 chips if he go up there to Cherokee and put him on the blackjack table. He might win 3 chips. But he ain't win no damn 3 championships. Oklahoma gets back in the win column next Saturday. Yeah, shit. Even with a one-handed quarterback, they're going to beat us. They ain't been able to run the ball all year. They'll run for 200 yards against us. I don't know. We were playing pretty good against the run game. I will give my defensive line some credit tonight. They played damn good against the run game considered what the hell? Hardy ran for like 50 yards against Alabama today. Man blew us up for 200. Alabama held his ass to like 50 yards. Holy shit. That was a good football game, though. And the damn Missouri fans mad as hell at Pribula. I'm like, he didn't play that bad. Well, he had 160-something yards and 2 interceptions. I'm like, but he ran for another. I mean, he had over 200 yards. Hell, everyone's running around unnamed Ty Simpson, the Heisman winner. Ty Simpson threw for 200 yards today, and he's the best quarterback in college football. I'm so tired of these media talking heads. Every time one quarterback has a good week, they're the best quarterback in college football. Have y'all noticed that? Cockaboose concern. What is Beamer's buyout? I think it's somewhere around 12, 13 million. About what we paid Muschamp. Nothing compared to what most coaches are in college football these days. Whew. Cash we won under Spurrier. Yeah. Like I said, everybody kept on. Well, Beamer's won more games in his first couple of years than Steve Spurrier won in his first couple of years. Y'all already know Spurrier's like 2 or 3 games ahead of him now, where they stand exactly. And then you think year 6, Spurrier SEC championship game. Year 7, 8, 9, 11 win seasons. Beamer ain't going to be close to that if he stays around 4 more years. His buyout is $28 million. Yeah, but what about at the end of this year, Chuck? I think that drops again. Why in the flying hell would Beamer have a $28 million buyout? That's some Ray Tanner bullshit right there. The fuck would you give him $28 million? Man ain't made it to no SEC championship. Ain't even made it to a playoff, and we gonna pay him out $28 million. To be honest, the game tonight was close. No, I figured everybody thought it was going to be a close game, Billy Cole, because even if you looked at the line for the over and under, it was only at like 40, 45, 46, somewhere around there. Um, Spurrier didn't regress, not to his last couple of years when he was ready to leave. Cockabooks, you're right about that. He got better and better and better. He didn't have those get better and then fall back. He didn't have the in between good seasons, 5 and 7 seasons. What the hell is going to take to finally get a contender in Columbia? Spend the money and get a coach. Give him the resources. I don't know. Everyone says Donati won't do anything. Like I brought up Sonny Dykes, and they said that's not. I'm like, Sonny Dykes took TCU. Does anyone understand? Sonny Dykes took TCU to a national championship game. Now he got dog walked, but Donati came from TCU. He knows what it's like to win football games and make it to championship games. You don't think he's going to want to do the same thing in South Carolina? Yes, he is. And if anyone that sits here in their right mind and sits down and thinks about it, they will understand that. That guy came from a place where the football team made it to a national championship. He's going to want to do the same thing. These ADs want to make a name for themselves. And they tend to want to bring their own coaches, especially for football. It happens everywhere. How do you think Josh Heupel got to Tennessee? That's how he got there. These guys want their own guys, their own hires. I'll guarantee you the whole plan that was laid out for South Carolina baseball that Monty Lee would take over once Paul Maneri retired does not happen. R. Clark says TCU wasn't in the SEC. It's not the point. TCU beat Michigan to get there. Wasn't it Michigan they beat to get in? No, was it Georgia to beat Michigan? I don't know. That's a long time ago. The point is, he knows what it's like to get there. He's going to want to get there. I understand this is not the Big 12. The Big 12 is tough. Hell, you don't never know who's winning the Big 12. But it's not the point of what it is. You're getting more money to be in the SEC. They can spend more money on getting coaches and being competitive. The Big 12 gets about $30 million maybe per team. You're getting 60, 70 as a SEC school. He's going to want to be competitive. He's going to want to win football games. He's now the playoff is even more extended. He's going to want to make playoffs. He wants to ride South Carolina up to make the most money he can get out of them. That's his job. That's what he gets paid to do. It is true. Dykes took TCU to a natty, though that year was year one. He hasn't had a year left. They're pretty damn good this year. I wouldn't want to. They'd beat the living shit out of South Carolina. He'd probably put 70 points on the board against us. Well, I don't know. Our defense is pretty good. But I guarantee he'd put points on the board against us. I wouldn't want to play him. Not the way we're playing. Beamer leaves for another school. He owes $5 million to South Carolina. Beamer ain't leaving South Carolina because ain't nobody else taking him. The Virginia Tech fans don't even want him. I talk to Virginia Tech fans on X all the time. They don't want him. Cash Stampede said we're at the bottom of the SEC. Well, we're not at the very bottom, but by the end of this year's here, we're going to be down in the bottom. Out of 16 teams, we'll be in the bottom 5. Where last year we were in the top 5. We're going to be in the bottom 5. In 2023, we were damn near. Well, we were in the bottom 5. What is the bite at the end of the year? I don't know. It reduces every year. I do know that. I don't know how much. I love Beamer, but he's not head coach material. He could be. He could be. But he's got to make the decisions like a head coach was. He's got to stop hiring his buddies, first of all. How many people on their staff that didn't work with Beamer somewhere else? That was a GA or someone that worked around Virginia Tech. Um, they all have. He's worked with them somewhere. He's not gone out and interviewed anybody that he hasn't worked with about a job or working in South Carolina. And the thing of it is, how many people that are growing in college football, offense coordinators and this type of stuff, that are actually growing, they're getting their name, they're building a name, it's going to come to work, wants to come to work for Shane Beamer and take a shot at coming to a coach that might be out of a job in a year or two. Or you see what's going on now and say, well, shit, I don't know if I want to go over there and get into that. If he's not going to get rid of what good's my OC ain't going to do if he won't get rid of the O line coach that can't teach these guys to block a tub of water. Les Miles would have been a way better hire. Hell no. It was hell no, no. Les Miles went to shit after his couple years at LSU. Beamer is the goat. You all eat Cash Stampede. Stop. You know better than that. Now you're trying to pull our leg. Les had legal problems following him. Yeah. Better than Beamer. Yeah, but I mean, that ain't really saying much there, Knox. Beamer don't have that much of a resume. I mean, he has 1 9-win season. That's pretty much his resume. He had a 9, a 8, and a 7. That's about the same resume as Will Muschamp. I done told y'all that. Everybody gets mad on me like that. Cash is a clown troll. I know everybody tries to be a troll. They ain't funny though, because I didn't just start this YouTube channel yesterday. I did have another one for 2 years. Damn, R. He's at State Fair. Don't even want to show up. Oh no, they gonna come sell their turkey legs. Them people ain't from Columbia. They'll show up. You think Beamer can be a good CEO? No, CEOs fire people. You're not a good CEO if you ain't willing to fire people. Ask Donald Trump. You're fired. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate all y'all for coming and hanging out with me. We didn't get the victory we wanted tonight, but we did get some laughs after the game, and I didn't get all stressed out. I mean, Chuck had to take a couple blood pressure pills earlier during the game. I got to start taking blood pressure pills next week. Next week, I have to go on blood pressure pills. That's why I'm not letting the team get me upset no more. Cash Down P said you're not trolling. You are trolling. You don't believe that shit you said yourself, Cash Down P. You and I talk all the time. You don't believe that bullshit about we going to eat crow over Beamer. Stop it. Carolina just won't hire anyone worth a damn. Oh, well, we got a new AD now. He ain't had to make a hire yet. Let's see what he does. Yeah, we've been through the good old boy Ray Tanner hiring for a while. You got a businessman up there now. What's Chuck doing? Going until I watch the post game. Why, Chuck? He gonna tell you the same shit. You just gonna get mad about it again. Don't do it, Chuck. Don't do it. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. Chuck said, "No, you're gonna get that shit over with tonight." He gonna have a heart attack. He doing it while he's already mad. He ain't wasting away his Sunday being pissed off again. Paul Galloway said, "I would hire Joe Brady." I don't know if you can get Joe Brady to come back out of the NFL. I think that's where he always wanted to be. You're the best. Thank you, Cash Stampede. You asked me to humbly ignore the troll. Cash Stampede ain't. He just cutting up, having fun. Hell, what else we gonna do as Gamecock fans but cut up and laugh, right? Didn't the new AD extend Beamer? No, that was Ray Tanner. That's what he took over. That That contract was already in the works from Ray Tanner. I think that's one of the last things he did as an athletic director. Lou Holtz probably couldn't walk through the door. No, you're not getting it. We don't want Lou back. I don't want any more damn retreads or old school people that's going to bring anything to our damn football team that's going to be some shit from 1975. Dan Patrick said he's not a troll. Now y'all on here crying, not laughing. I ain't crying. I ain't cried all night. I ain't even got mad. I don't even know what you're talking about, Dan Patrick. You see me mad? I just state facts. Play like shit. We played like shit. I say we play like shit. I don't cry about it. I ain't. You was the one on here crying about the officials. I just said we played like shit and got beat. And it's a fact. I ain't trying to blame an official because we got beat. Get over it. We lost. Still got Ole Miss and Oklahoma and Alabama. Go get you. We gonna get our ass beat by them too. We gonna be right back on here talking about the same thing again. I'm over it. I don't even know what you talking about. What is Dan Patrick talking about? Get over it. I've been over it. It's to the point I'm laughing about it. We talking about other shit. We ain't even talking about LSU no more. We talking about coaching hires and shit. Who'd be good fit? I need some mods in here. Yeah, I'll set some up. Ain't thought about it yet, Bird and Fly. I gotta go back through and I'll set some back up. I had some on my old channel. The more the channel grows, the more you will get trolls. Now, Dan Patrick might not be a troll, but there are a lot of them out there. I think Dan Patrick is I don't know. He might be a Gamecock fan. I think he's lying to me, though. I don't believe anybody but Gamecock fan would have the name Dan Patrick. He probably a damn LSU fan over here just making noise. I don't even think shit would claim that performance. I don't know. It is what it is. Dan Patrick O'Brien, LSU fans think I'm crazy, and Gamecock fans think I'm crazy. Then you must be crazy. I mean, if everybody thinks you're crazy, there, damn Patrick, the damn shoe must fit there, buddy. You're a season ticket holder at Willie B. Now I know you're crazy. That's self-explanatory. If you're a season ticket holder at Willie B, you got to be crazy. You gonna go out there and spend your money to watch this team go 4-8? 1.5 is all he's making. Who, Dan Patrick? He only making 1.5? Probably. Oh, I know you talking about. You talking about Joe Brady only making 1.5? I don't know. I guess you could try it. But if he's gonna bring that damn same offense down here and try to run that damn NFL bullshit, I don't want him neither. You're a real Gamecock fan, Dan Patrick. Pretty sure everybody that's up here at 1 a.m. in the morning talking about the Gamecocks is a Gamecock fan, dude. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy all this shit that goes on my wall up here that says Gamecocks. And sure wet shirts and hats and everything else not to be a Gamecock fan, bro. Hey, he robs banks. Yeah, he's full of shit. All right, y'all. I'm gonna shut her down. Love all you guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning and Sunday. But we'll holler at y'all later. Don't forget to tell everybody to come over here and like and subscribe. Anyway, love all you guys. Have fun.